Hey guys, so I'm gonna do my first tag on YouTube, and the first time I saw this tag, I was like, that's really dirty, why is this a thing? But then I watched it, and I was like, oh. So, my first tweet was to this guy named Tyrus that I had been dating for like 6 months, and yeah. My first YouTube video was the About Me one because I saw this girl named Amanders do one, and I was like, this is really cool and creative, so then I did it too. And it turns out that we had a lot of the same things about our life, like the same thing. So yeah, like if you see her About Me video, it's literally almost the exact same thing. My dad thought we'd talk about it throughout the week. I really do think we're going though. Awesome. Sorry, I might text my girlfriend in the middle of this. Okay. First person you subscribed to on YouTube was this lady named Loloka. She's really old. Old as in like a prehistoric YouTuber, like in 2007. My first Facebook profile picture was me when I was like 10 and this kid named Jake, who's my cousin. And that is because I made my Facebook with my cousins at their house and they didn't have any of my like selfies, my like cool 10-year-old selfies. But they had like pictures of like the family parties, so I couldn't get any like single pictures of myself, but so it had to be like a picture with Jake. Jake is cool though. Do you still talk to your first love? Pfft, no. That shit was like in 6th grade, and like the only reason I call it love is because I've dated people before that, like in 5th grade and 2nd grade and stuff, and obviously they don't count. I only count him as being the first one because it took so long to get over him. Like for so long I just wanted to like be his friend and like give him hugs and stuff, and every time I talked to him he'd be like ew. And then I asked him out in 7th grade because I left Chicago in 7th grade and I wanted to like release all of my emotion to him that I had been building and suppressing forever. And then he was like, look, I didn't want to have to do this, but you suck and I don't like you. So then I slapped him and then I kicked him in the shins, and then like my handprint was on his face for a while, and I heard that he cried, but I wasn't sure because as soon as I slapped him and kicked him, I fled the scene, and that was a really dramatic way to put that. What was your first alcoholic drink? I drank a screwdriver because my friends were there. I didn't like it at all. I had smelled it before. I was like, oh, I don't like drinking at all. It's disgusting. What was your first job? My first job was at the most amazing music store ever. It was called Music House Incorporated. It's on Devon Street in Chicago, which is like in the whole like Mozart area around where my old school was and all that. Basically in my living quarters. So yeah, it's around Lincolnwood Mall-ish. It's a walking distance type thing. Yeah. What was my first car? I don't even remember. The last car that I remember us having, like the earliest car, was this like Spider convertible, and it was the coolest thing ever. That's the earliest car I remember having. I don't remember any of our cars before that. Who was the first person to text you today? Angelina! Who was the first person you thought of this morning? Angelina! Because she texted me before I woke up. So I was like, oops, should find my phone, see if I happened anything. And then she was like, hi. And I was like, oh, that was only like 2 minutes ago. Who was my first grade teacher? Her name was Miss Sit, and she did sit a lot, and she ate a lot of turtles mid-class. Where did you go on your first ride on an airplane? Technically, the first time I went to anywhere on an airplane was to Korea. The initial destination of the trip was supposed to be Cebu in the Philippines, and we did go there, obviously, but technically my first A to B point was from Chicago O'Hare to Korea. So yeah, we went to Seoul. Who was your first best friend, and do you still talk? My first best friend, I don't know if they count because they weren't my best friends, but they were like these neighbor kids in Chicago, and I was like 4 or 3 or something like that. Like, we had lived in the same apartment from when I was like 2 to when I was like 4, and then we moved, 4 or 5 or something like that. And yeah, they were like these Indian kids, and I was such an introvert kid, I didn't like them having at my house. I didn't like having them at my house, so I always kicked them out and like played by myself and with my brothers and stuff with like our Spider-Man things. And yeah, because I really like Spider-Man. And yeah, my voice is yucky, I'm sorry about that. But my first real best friend that I called my best friend that I loved having around, that was amazing. Her name was Marita, and we do still talk. I just took her to Market Days last year, actually. She's amazing. I love her. we have our own secret language together. It's like Pig Latin, but like 6 times over, and it's in like other languages, and it's really cool. And she's amazing, and I love her. Where was your first sleepover? My first sleepover was at this girl named Abigail's house, and we ended up dating when I was in like 5th grade. Not really dating, but like, I don't know, we had a thing. It was really complicated. I don't know, I really liked her, but I knew that she didn't really feel the same, so it was really complicated. So yeah. My first sleepover was at her house, and I was in 1st grade, and they were watching Mean Girls, and I was like, is this anything rated over PG? Because I can't watch it. I was the biggest little prissy bitch when I was a kid. It's not even funny. So yeah, when I was like 6, I was like, is this PG-13? Because I can't watch it. And they were like, yeah, it's PG-13. And I was like, fuck! So yeah. What was the first thing you did this morning? Check my phone. What was the first concert you went to? Obviously, I'd been to like those fair concerts where there's like just a live band playing. I'd seen bands play like Seventh Heaven and ... before. But the major like title band that everyone knows about, that I would say that I went to would be like Selena Gomez, and I went on August 21st of 2010, and it was the most amazing thing ever. Mitchell Musso opened for her, which is the kid with the flippy hair named Oliver from Hannah Montana that ended up dating Lily, and that freaked me out. But yeah, Mitchell Musso opened for her, and I was like in tears crying because I had never been that close to someone that I had looked up to for so long, and it was amazing. After that, I went to see like Journey and like other really good bands. I'm going to Warp this year, so woo! Okay. My first broken bone was this hand. People that know me would make fun of me for why I broke this hand, but I fell off a skateboard. Yep. I had, like, sprained my ankle before, because, yeah, I fell downstairs, and it was funny, because when I got x-rays, they were like, do you play sports? And I was like, like, I didn't even say no, I was just laughing, and it was great. My first piercing was my ears. Obviously, I have no more, though I don't have any, like, weird piercings. I just have 2. That's weird enough for me, I guess. I want to get them, like, all the way around, though. And yeah, and I want to get snake bites too, so, yeah. I'm not up for any bites, did I just say bites? Piercings that are not, like, lips or ears, because everything else freaks me out. Even, like, the ones on your back dimples, mainly because I don't have back dimples, but yeah. First foreign country you've gone to? Korea. First movie you remember seeing? This is really hard. It could have been Brokeback Mountain, or it could have been Chucky, and that's really weird. But yeah, Chucky the doll. Everyone calls it Chucky. I don't know the actual name for it. Like, I know it, but I can't. Presque-vous. Okay, so yeah, it's either Brokeback Mountain or Chucky, and I've never actually seen either one of the full movies. But the first full movie that I remember watching is probably Elmo and Grouchland, and I still really love that movie. So yeah, Elmo and Grouchland, I guess. Also Brokeback Mountain and Chucky. When was your first detention? My first detention was in 7th grade. I am such a prissy bitch. I had never gotten a detention before that. Also, it is very, very impossible to get a detention in Chicago schools, because everyone is so, like, no one behaves there, so it's really hard to give out detentions. Basically, what had happened was I was singing to myself, and Mr. Feeney goes, stop it! So I go, okay. And I stopped. And someone was listening to very loud music through very loud headphones in front of me, like directly in front of me, and Mr. Feeney thought that it was me again, so then I was like, but it wasn't me, and then he's like, but I told you to shut up, and then I was like, but it wasn't me, and then he's like, but I just told you to shut up, and then I was like, no, this isn't happening, and then it was happening. So yeah. Who was my first roommate? My brothers. If you had one wish, what would it be? I would probably want to... I want to know who I get married to in the future, or if I get married at all and die a lonely cat lady, because I love kitties. But I have to get hypoallergenic kitties because allergies, so that means hairless kitties, and hairless kitties are freaking adorable, so I don't really mind. Because, like, I want to know, like, just who I marry, in general. And then I'd be like, did you meet them in high school? So then I would, like, prepare myself, I guess, to meet the love of my life in high school. Or if I already knew them. What was the first sport you were involved in? When I was very young, I played every sport, and then when I got older, it got diminished to basketball and softball / baseball because I didn't play on a not professional, obviously not professional, like a legit team. I just kind of played with the kids around. Lately-ist, I've been into volleyball and soccer, but that was in like 6th and 7th grade when I still lived in Chicago. So, yeah. I really do not like sports nowadays, but I can run pretty fast. So yeah, there's that. What is the first thing you do when you get home? Take off my shoes. 'Cause Asian house. Who was my first kiss? That girl named Abigail. It's really embarrassing. But like, she looked like she had a lot of experience before. And the first time I ever kissed anyone, it wasn't even like, nervous little peck thing. No, like, we were like, so yeah, that's really embarrassing. I don't really tell that story a lot, but yeah, we were in drama club, which is like the baby word for theater. I never liked calling it drama club because it just sounds stupid. I like theater more. It sounds more like adulty. Like when I was a kid, I used to call it history instead of social studies because cool kids. Anyways, so yeah, we were in drama club, and the way that drama club works is that, there's like these stairs that wind up and go to the balcony, and most of the kids sat in the first floor of the audience and watched the people act on stage. So in theater, me and Abigail used to sit on the stairs, and no one could see us there. And one day she was like, "Have you ever kissed anybody?" And I was like, "No." So then she was like, "I got an idea." And I was like, "What's your idea?" And then the idea happened. So yeah, it was really nice. You know, she got really pretty over, time. Because we looked really young when that happened. I was in like 6th grade. So yeah, that's how theater kiss happened, I guess. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. This video is way too long. Bye!